Hello, dear ones. I am Maria Eleonora Madalena, and welcome to the Awakening Path Show. This is the place where you come to expand your consciousness. I am Maria Eleonora. Give me just 1 second. Also, I have a warning for you. In this show, you may hear something that is going to trigger you, that you heard for the first time in your life, and all the bells will go red and say, no way. And that's okay. So I ask that you take what resonates with you and leave what not. And if you think the show is not for you, that's okay. If you are curious, just stay. Because today I have a special guest that is very, very dear to my heart. Her name is MaryElizabeth, and she is the guarantee that we are all one with God. We are all God. But she remembered that she is one with God. And that's what she's bringing to us today. She is bridging the gap between us and the God inside us. Elizabeth, welcome to the Starseed Awakening Show.
Thank you so much, my dear. We are so happy to be here, and we are present already, you see, and we are ready to speak and allow you to see. Our MaryElizabeth, we call her our ME, is also present with you. But most importantly, we are here because you have extended the invitation to allow the truth of those who see to be touched by the truth of their own divinity.
Thank you. It's the first time that you come to the show, and I think you'll be very delighted to get to know MaryElizabeth a little bit. How has been your spiritual awakening so far? Have you always been awakened? When was your first memories when you became aware for the first time?
My first memory is from the crib. I remember we lived in a small apartment. I had 2 sisters, my mom and dad, and we had a dog. And I used to sit in the crib because I was born with dislocated hips. So they propped me up in the crib, and I'd watch my family and wonder why nobody was interacting with the other people in the room. I didn't understand why no one was talking to them when they were talking to me. And then I also saw angels who just watched over all of us, who were higher in the room and who had a light and a love that you could feel. Now, that stayed with me my whole life. I've always seen the dead. I've always connected to those beyond where most could see. But when I was 3, 1964, it was Christmas time, I remember waking up, sitting on my father's lap, and there was a room full of people. And I was so excited. I had to tell my mother what I had just been through. And I asked her, Mom, I have to tell you, God came and talked to me. And my mother just looked at me from across the room, and she said, shh, don't. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. God came to tell me who I was born to be and what I would do, and that I was here to speak and that people would listen. Well, at that, my mother yelled at me, who are you to think God would talk to you? Now, I grew up Catholic, and, God spoke to the priests, not to little girls. And I remember looking around the room because I was 3. I was telling the truth, and I wanted my mother to believe me. So I looked around the room, and I saw the looks on everybody else's face, and nobody looked pleased. Wasn't until years later I realized their displeasure was at my mother yelling at me. But in that moment, I perceived there was something wrong with me. I couldn't speak my truth. So I learned to be a good girl and keep quiet. And most of the times, I didn't mention the dead in the room. When I was 6, we were at a wake, and there was a man standing next to me, and there was a man laying in the box. And I kept looking, and my mother said, "What are you looking at?" And I just pointed at the man in the box. And so she just went on talking. And then all of a sudden, I pulled on her skirt, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." And she, "What?" And I said, "Why is the man in the box standing next to me?" Well, my mother's face said it all. I quickly got ushered out of the room, and I heard about it all the way home. Don't tell people what you can do. They'll think you're strange. They'll think there's something wrong with you. They'll think you're crazy. So for most of life, I tried to be the good girl. I tried not to let people see who I was. And I was very successful at it until about 47 years later, when my husband passed away. And on my way home, or when I got back from his funeral, I was by the pool and my phone rang. And when I picked it up, it said, "Bob's cell." Well, that was my husband. And I was like, okay, who's got his phone? And I couldn't figure that out. So I answered, "Hello." And all I heard was a hmm. So hello, hello. And I hung up and I went, okay, that was weird. So I put it under the towel, got back in the pool, swam back, and all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, my phone rang. So I swam back over, picked up the towel, looked at my phone. It was, again, Bob's cell. This time I picked it up and the hum was louder. And I'm going, this isn't funny. I'm not laughing. And I hung up the phone, but it wouldn't hang up. It just kept going. So then I was like, these are the old phones, the flip phones, right? So
Yeah.
I took the battery out and the phone was still humming. So I put it under the towel, went on the other side of the pool and said, maybe my mother was right. Maybe I am crazy. There's something wrong here. Well, about half hour later, I swam back over to see what it was doing, and it was no longer humming, but on the screen it said BYT, no, BYTOUUUUUU, which read "bye to you." And I was like, okay, that was Bob calling to say goodbye to me. And from that moment forward, all heaven broke loose, all hell broke loose, however you want to look at it. But suddenly I was seeing angels everywhere. The one day I was on the phone with my friend and telling her that, I think I am going crazy. And she's like, no, no. And I said, but I am, because I'm looking at the ceiling fan and I'm seeing body parts coming through, like an arm or a leg, a torso. I'm like, this is so bizarre. And she said, I don't think you're crazy. I think something's happening to you. And all of a sudden I looked at the room and every single person I had known in my life that had passed, with the exception of my mom and dad, who passed 15 months earlier, and my husband, were in the room. And my godfather stepped forward, my Uncle Louis, and said, "Don't worry, honey, you're not crazy. You have a job to do, and we are all here to help you." Well, from that moment forward, within that week, I was asked to go to a mountaintop and have a meeting with God. The angels came through and were speaking to me and taking control of all these different things. And so I went on this trust journey. And as we drove, I was given all these directions at one point to get off the road and drive through the desert. Well, I had a nice convertible, but no way was it going to stand up to the desert. And they said, don't worry, you'll be fine. Well, we drove 13 miles through the desert. And along that path, there was an eagle that just sat there this far away from the car and watched us drive by. And then there was a tortoise. I'd never seen a desert tortoise before. My friend's like, that's a 150-pound tortoise at least. That thing is old. I'm like, okay. Well, eventually I learned to listen to what they were telling me. We got to a mountaintop. I was told to climb to the top of the mountain. And at that moment, I regretted my choice of shoes because I had sandals on. And there was no way I was climbing to the top of Brightwood with sandals on my feet. So they said, just go to the ravine. So I went to the ravine. And next thing I knew, this ball of energy was coming up towards me, knocked me to my knees. And I was sobbing, that much I knew. And then my friend said, is it true? And I'm like, yes. She goes, what happened? I said, I have no idea.
Oh, so she was with you?
She was with me because no way in hell I was going alone. No way. I had faith, but I'm not crazy. So as we went through, we started driving. They told me to go home. So we started driving from Wrightwood. And we decided we needed to stop for gas because they had taken me all over the place to get there. And we had been driving at that point for about 3 hours. And my gas tank said it was full. And I was positive it broke during that desert bouncing.
Yes.
She went to put gas in the car. It took $3. And that was it. We did not use a drop of gas on that trip. So on the way home, all of a sudden the angels came through and said to me, we are going to drive. You need to speak. And I turned towards my friend and I started to speak. And it was the voice of God coming through. And she tried to write the notes, everything that was being said. But when God speaks in the present moment. That's where God exists. And in that moment, in that time, she gave up. She just gave up.
Listen.
But I was given so many messages of why I was there, what I would be doing, what would be coming through, how my life would change. And the last thing I was asked was 3 things. Will you trust the process? Okay, I'll do that. Will you always give the messages that come through? Okay, I can do that. And will you have faith in me? Well, to me, that was the easiest one. I can have faith in God. I believe in God. Absolutely. Well, who knew having faith in me would be so difficult? Because it was 14 years later. No, I'm sorry, 13 years later. I woke up on my 64th birthday. That was last year. And I went, oh my goodness, God was asking me to have faith in the person I call me. Because that person is God experiencing. And in that moment, my life changed. I stopped hiding. I stopped being afraid of what people thought of me. And now I get to share with others the truth of their divine energy. Because as I exist in this moment in time as the living bridge, I bridge the gap between the human and the divine. And the conversation that people experience is the truth of their soul's energy. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's beautiful. What a journey. I have a question. It's more for myself. I'm trying to understand a little bit more. We are all, actually, I heard that from Jesus. We are a beautiful thought in the mind of God.
Mm-hmm.
So we all here are God, but I also understand that in order to inhabit the body, a soul is created, and sometimes that soul comes for the first time or second time and get lost and then keeps the reincarnation process.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, my soul, I know that's not the first time I come to Earth. Is that your soul's first incarnation of all?
This is my third, and I'm told my final. There are people I know who have been through 1,000 lifetimes. There are people I know, like for you, the number I'm getting loud and clear is this is your 10th carnation. This is the 10th time you have been around.
When you say around, is around on Earth or
Yes,
in the
where you've had
physical?
a earthly experience.
Oh, okay.
Okay, an earthly life, a different life, a different incarnation. And there is, for each soul, there is a process we go through, not just here on earth, but in our passing. It's funny because souls always say to me, I got work to do. I'm not here for them. I'm here for me. Because even as we leave this earthly plane, we still are learning, we still are growing. My understanding of God when I was a child, I was told God is within all of us. And that made absolute sense to me because I always felt the presence of God in my life. And it wasn't until recently that I was told we are within God. So if you think of a picture, a digital picture, that whole picture is God. And each pixel is a soul or a human being experiencing life, God experiencing life as you, God experiencing life as me. And here's the most amazing thing. People are saying, why would God want billions of experiences all at once? Because we're all different. We're all different. We're all unique. We are all created specifically for an experiencing. And our impact on that is our choice of in this moment, who am I going to be? Am I going to stand in my kindness and integrity and allow truth to lead? Or am I going to allow manipulation and lie to hinder that light? So it's an experience we all have and we all share, yet each is very unique. And that's what makes humanity such an amazing thing.
Yes, indeed. And we kind of had the same beginning. I
Mm-hmm.
also come from the Catholic faith.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky that my parents never forced anything over us. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you live in a family, you try to not make too many waves. So
Mm-hmm.
you do what other people do.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember since the beginning, maybe I was like 5 years old, I started being aware of myself. And the first idea that I had of God was people give me that image of an old man sitting in the cloud and manipulating things here. And I just, this does not sit well with me. So I never believed that. Never, never, never. But I never spoke with anyone that I didn't believe it
Mm-hmm.
because I knew they didn't have the answers.
Right. Right.
So I was smart enough not to tell anyone that I disbelieve in them. So I was just kind of pretending to go along until I
Mm-hmm.
decided to really look for my answers that I knew I couldn't find in the environments that I have been exposed to.
Right. Right.
And that started with 24.
Yeah. For you. Good for you. The
Yeah.
I have a question for you, my dear.
Yes.
In that space, in that knowing as you grew up, did you pray?
Prayer for me always been something very different
Mm-hmm.
because I wouldn't really kneel and pray and ask.
Mm-hmm.
I would just talk and tell what I wanted. And people would say that I was lucky, but everything I always wanted would just come to me.
Yeah.
And people were delighted just to do things for me. But I was very resourceful. I always liked to help people. So I was always giving to everyone too. So everybody was delighted to assist me. So
Right.
it was a beautiful exchange. But oh, I need to pray for God for that. I don't really remember doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When I saw a need, you just talk over and they knew would met. It's like for me it was status. I needed or met, that's it. I didn't have to think about or to so what I can do so get in favor with God just if he give me what I want.
Yeah.
I never really need to go through that.
So you were fortunate which is why people say you're lucky. You were fortunate because you had a belief that you were worthy of what God was bringing you, that you had that belief,
Yes.
you had that knowing. That, my dear, is a tremendous gift, especially as you speak of the fact that you grew up in a household that believed that God was outside of you, but you were able to stay in that space of God being with you, in you, you within God. That is why you found yourself getting and being given and giving back. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think was a good choice for parents because
Mm-hmm.
even though they would believe in God, they would pray, they would do those things that was expected,
Mm-hmm.
they always honor our wishes, our personality.
Yeah,
They never would force me or my siblings to do what they knew we didn't have to do, didn't want to do.
yeah,
So they were very respectful because them themselves had to break through in their one family to get their voice heard. And they did things completely different of all the rest.
right.
So because they both paved that path for them to allow us to be ourselves was the natural thing for them to do. So I
Wow.
guess I was blessed.
Yes, that is a blessing. That is an
I
amazing,
think, let me
amazing.
see if I have a question here. I think I have. Oh, she's just saying, I love this. Thank you. That's my friend Joseph. If any one of you have a question, I will be delighted to read it to Elizabeth. Why you don't have a question? I will have a question. Elizabeth, what
Yeah.
God would like to tell to people that will be watching, that are watching now or that will watch later about this show,
About
Tuesday,
this show
7
in
p.m.
particular, what
Yes.
you do or what in this moment is a priority, because what we feel in this moment is aligned with what you do, but there is some energy coming through that your friend actually has, how shall we say, an opportunity to speak. Tell her to take it. We will never force one to do it, but she has some questions, so not to be shy. But what we will say about what you do, my dear, is you have created, interestingly enough, and we are very proud of you for this, despite resistance of how some people may perceive what you do, you still allow yourself to move forward with ease. You still allow yourself to put yourself front and center in your truth. And that is a topic we would love to share with all of humanity. Stand in the power of the person you call me, your truth. Our ME, most of her life, did not allow others to see who she was and what she could do because her family told her not to. And she learned very young that if you pushed against, it was not a pleasant thing. So she learned to just play small. Does that make sense to say? And there are many, many, many who play small in this world, who choose a role because others told them to. And that is why we admire you, because you are choosing you. You are standing in your truth, and you are owning the power of me. And we see your effort, and we see your connections, and we see how you take the opportunity to ask. Without fear of rejection, you ask. And that, my dear, is key to creating the world you want to see. So for that, we highly, highly honor you. And we are very grateful for that example you bring through. Is your friend's question ready, my dear?
Oh, not yet, Joseph. If you have a question, well, God already know that you have it, so you just type and I will read it to her. And that's very interesting that you said exactly that, because I just did something that is stepping away out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I found out about 4 months ago that I can channel, voice channel. Before
Mm-hmm.
I was just automatic writing for 5
Mm-hmm.
years, where almost 4 I hid it from my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I just recorded a video that will be go live next Tuesday at 7 p.m. because I'll be on vacation on Sedona, so I want to leave something for the public. And Joseph, my friend, he asked the question, and I will just invite any being of love and light to come forth and answer the question. So in other lives, I channel live here and there, but there was the first time that I really put myself out there, and I got some 4 amazing figures. And it's very interesting because when you do something like that, the first thing you think, oh, people gonna really come after me, because they'll say, how dare you say that you're channeling Jesus? But the first time I did, who came first was Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And in my ego mind, I was like, go back to the back of the line. It was that already.
Yeah, that works. How'd that work out for you?
So after you channel Jesus, you don't need to be afraid of no one.
Right, exactly.
And after I did that whole show, and I was listening again, I said, well, I think I'm gonna find the people saying that actually I wasn't channeling, but they'll have to admit if I wasn't channel, I'm very wise.
That's what I always
Because
tell.
what came true, that would be a big compliment. More than
What
that,
I
I was
always
really
say too.
channeling.
Exactly. Exactly. I
So
have a
my
question, my
friend,
dear. Before,
yes,
oh, no.
yeah,
Okay, they said we'll ask you in a moment, my dear, but let's
okay.
see your friend.
So let me see what is saying. I am supposed to teach Christ consciousness, or do her, or doing to social media, or both.
You want to know which you're supposed to do? Is that
Oh,
what you are asking?
his friend, he's getting the message that he's supposed to teach about Christ consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to know if he's supposed to do that only in person, or online, or in social media, or both.
We would say to do both, but you're going to be most successful in person because that energy exchange that comes face to face will create a momentum that allows others to connect within themselves to their Christ consciousness, if that makes sense to say. And allowing yourself to begin on social media, we would say, tease what you do. Don't spend a long-winded explanation, but do, we believe they are reels of a brief message coming through. Speak of who you are and how this knowledge or this calling was presented to you. But then we want you to allow yourself to bring together small groups, start there, and watch it grow as you do. Be careful, we will say this very clear, be careful of those who want to, what should we say, attach to you. Because not all will be true. So trust your own knowing and open your, how should we say, your intuitive gift beyond what you currently do, because you have a tendency just sometimes to temper it for others. Don't do that. Let it come through. Show the world who you were born to be. Stand in that power of your own energy. And as you do, you will teach beautifully. Did that help?
I would say yes, but I'll let you know when he answer.
Okay. Okay.
So you said you have a question for me?
I did. And then, because they are present in the moment. Just remind me what we were speaking of.
I'm in the present moment too, I
Yeah,
forgot.
exactly.
That's okay, let's just go
Oh, no,
over.
I do know. It was
Okay.
about channeling. They said it was about channeling. Okay. So when you channel, my dear, are you present in the conversation, or do you step back and allow your full body to be used? Do you know what I mean? Some channels disappear from the conversation. Others are present. Like me, I channel whatever comes through, but I'm always present in the conversation. Like I can hear everything being said.
I can hear everything being said,
Mm-hmm.
but I cannot anticipate when it's like I'm observing things
Yeah.
that are written. It's not that the words come first and then I allow to go through my mouth. It's
So
like
they're
I'm in the
writing
back,
it
but
for you.
I'm conscious, but I allow it to be.
Okay.
Only when Jesus came the first time, my ego was trying to go back there and tell him to the back, go to the back of the line. Shut up, no, let him speak. But
Okay.
it's not a trans channel. I've been told that it's like a telepathic transfer of energy
Yeah,
through
yeah,
the heart center.
yeah.
And sometimes I'm guided just to do this because when I do that, I concentrate the energy here.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also move my hands. But if I'm doing sitting down, so I
Yeah,
usually don't move much.
right, right. Very interesting. So it's a telepathic communication that you then speak, correct?
Yes, yes.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
And sometimes I have visions, depend on, he said that absolutely helped.
Good. I'm glad. I can't wait to hear. You've got to keep me informed.
Yes. So he say, I felt the energy of clarity in that confirmation. Thank you so much.
You are
You that is
welcome.
watching, where else can you ask a question to God and get the answer in plain English? Be brave and ask your questions. I will not gonna even tell your name if you don't want it to. So what do we have to ask to God? Let me see. What the people can do, people that's, if they are watching this
Mm-hmm.
video If they pass the 5 minutes, it's because they are curious. It's because they are ready to start stepping out of the matrix.
Mhm.
What God has to tell for those people that are watching those type of videos, but don't tell anyone else that knows them because they are afraid of being judged?
We love this question because, as we said previously, you are all here on a common journey, but your journey is completely unique. And if you are drawn to what it is you are watching, and if it is piquing your interest, and for many, there is just background noise, at least that's how they describe it. But for others, it's a curiosity of what do they have that can help me find my way through, that can help me understand what is happening to me. We are here not to, we smile because Emmy said not to force anybody to do anything. But in reality, what we are here to do is to plant a seed, to let you know that the reality is your divinity. The reality is you are a divine being in a human experiencing. But if you allow yourself to remember first and foremost that you are the divine in action, that you are the divine living this life, and that every time you choose to stand in that energy of love, kindness, and integrity, and allowing that truth to lead, you are giving yourself permission each and every time to be more and more who you were born to be. Many people will say to us, well, I'm worried I will not achieve my purpose here. Well, here's the thing. We want to tell you all this right now. There is no way, no matter what you do, that you can F up your purpose. Your purpose is guaranteed because it is your impact on universal balance. You are each here for a reason. You are each here to, how should we say, in your purpose, represent an energy of divinity. RME, calls that your God adjective. Some are here for creativity. Some are here to spread joy. Some are here to be intellectual. Some are here to expand possibility through their imagining, through the words they share and the stories they write. That purpose creates universal balance, and universal balance will always be. So no matter what, you cannot mess it up. And one of the things that keeps coming through in Emmy's mind, and we're just going to touch on it for a moment here. When you are born into this existence, you are born amongst your soulmates. Many of you think you have one soulmate. In truth, every single human being on this planet is your soulmate. You are all here chosen specifically to create an energy that allows balance to be. And even when one passes away, there is always another that comes through to fill that space, to fill that energy. But those who leave this realm do not die. They just move in to a space where most cannot see. It is a realm of energy, a dimension that allows them to be here with you still. And one of the things, Emmy, because she grew up Catholic, you see, and one of the beliefs is those who take their own lives are creating a sin, trying to cheat God. No, you cannot cheat God. You are God. You cannot cheat God. Think about the number of people in the world who actually try, if you know anybody, say you have 10 friends, at least 3 have thought of committing suicide. And many have tried and survived. Those who do die, it was their time to die. And when people die, as hard as it is for those who are left behind, you must remember you all come with an expiration date. So we'll tell you right now, your expiration date is not like cookies where you can eat it a month later and they'll still be okay. Your expiration date is written in stone. And when it comes to be, you will leave. But here's the amazing thing. You leave joyfully. And you move into a space where you can help those that are still here, waiting for them when it's their time to leave. But today, what we want each and every one of you to understand is you are sitting here. If you are listening, it's because there is something we are saying that you need to hear. If you are listening, there is an energy coming through that wants you to pay attention. If you are listening, we are here to help you. We are here to assist you because you were chosen to be exactly who you are. And many of you have gifts you have yet to understand. Allow yourself to be part of the big plan. Step out. No fear. Remember, you are the divine one here. Let that lead and hold that hope, that space in your energy.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have another question. Is Wandering Wasman? Can you tell me what is my divine purpose? Wandering Wasman.
I'm trying to connect to the energy. So here's what we'll say to you. Your purpose, my dear, I'm just asking you a question, okay? You can answer it or not. What brings you joy?
You can type on the chat. I'm able to see Wasman.
Did you want me to type that?
Oh, no,
Okay.
I'm waiting for her to reply. You
Okay.
can continue
Okay.
talking. I'm
What
not sure
we will
she's
say to
ready.
all of you, and then we will answer your question, my dear, but in part to find your purpose here, your purpose is a guarantee. Do you need to know what it is? No, not really. But think of it this way. When people describe you, do they say you're fun? Do they say you're serious? Do they say you're artistic? Do they say you're joyful? Do they say you're intellectual? And then we want you to think of it this way. That moment of energy where people describe who you are. Many are, you, my dear, are caring. Let us just say this. You are caring for others. You put forth an energy to help where you see a need. You are God's love coming through. That is your purpose, you see. You are here to help and love others and uplift as you move. The greater question might be, what is my death? Go ahead.
She just reply, helping people, exactly what you said.
Yes, yes. And that, my dear, is exactly your purpose here, is to help and uplift others, and you do it without judgment, which, to be honest with you, can be quite rare. If you see a need, you step in. You don't think of yourself as superior. You just see that someone needs what you have to give, and you give it freely. That is God's love, my dear. That would be the God adjective, as MaryElizabeth says, that we would assign to you. You are God's love. Do you see? And Eleonora, we would say you are God's wisdom because you share the knowledge easily. You have no fear, despite what others may say to you. You put yourself out there to share what you know to be true. Does that make sense?
It does.
Go ahead, next question.
And she said that she is a humanitarian. Before the next question, I'd like to show your website. And I will allow you to tell us about your programs.
Okay, my website is www.thelivingbridge.me. And what I do is I offer a myriad of opportunities for people. The first and foremost is we have the sanctuary and the collective. And they are, the sanctuary is my heart. I was told a few years ago in Arizona that I was to develop the sanctuary. And that is a weekly live call where we discuss how to step into the fullness of who we are born to be. I have one participant who connects to angels, and she's hesitant to share that information with others. But since she began, she has now started her own program and her own podcast where she shares the info. We have another who connects to a divine collective of individuals who initially was very afraid to put herself out there, to let people see, because guess what? When you are standing in the truth of who God created you to be, it can be a little scary because you're owning your divinity, you're owning that truth, and society teaches you otherwise. So within this sanctuary, it's a safe space to explore, to discover, to remember, to learn to align within yourself to that space of faith in me. And faith, just so you know, is full alignment in true harmony. And in that space, in that energy, then you can step into becoming exactly who you were born to be. And it's an ongoing group, and we have, as I said, we meet every Thursdays from 10 to 11:30 a.m. and we have discussion, and we are always present, and we lead the group. ME participates just as the rest of you. But we are here in this moment in time because you are divine, and we offer this energy so that you feel safe, secure in becoming exactly who you were born to be. The collective is similar, except it's just a twice a month for those who are interested, but not quite sure they want to invest the full amount of time on a weekly basis. So we meet every other week. And from there, we have, each has a portal that members can go to where there is a weekly reflection, a monthly reflection, a conversation that is brought through. I update as we go through. And as the week comes, any messages that I am to bring are included in this energy. I also do individual one-on-one sessions with people. I now offer, which is not on the website, but will be soon. No, actually it is. I think we updated it. It's group sessions. And the group sessions are, you host a group of your friends with 8 minimum in the room, up to 15, and we have a conversation. And the questions that come through are always answered, and it's always a unique experience for everyone involved. And those I do in person as well as virtually. So it's a space where you can come and connect, and a space where you can come and find a safe haven to be exactly who you were born to be. And then, of course, you can connect to my books. I currently have one that is published, and in the next month, there will be 4 more that will be coming out. So I've been busy, to say the least.
I see.
So we're just moving forward to help as many people as we can. And if you have any questions, just go to the website and you can contact me directly, and I can answer the questions you need to help guide you in a direction that might be best for you.
What about the music?
If you go, keep scrolling, you're on the books of music, right?
Yes.
Divine frequency is the music. And right now I just noticed it disappeared off
Divine
this.
Connection. Explore
Yeah.
Divine Connection.
Yeah.
I
And it's
will.
an album. And this album came to be when, no, that isn't it. It's
Okay.
for some reason not there right now, but I'll update it to fix it. But the,
Okay.
so go back. It will be there when we're done here. I don't know what happened to it. It was there the other day, so I got to figure out what happened. The album came to be, I had a client who had a session with me, and when she went home, she said, I was inspired to sit down at the piano. And as she sat at the piano, she hadn't played since she was in 6th grade. And that was the first time she tried a piano, but she recorded what she was playing and she sent it to me. And in the recording, there were all these golden orbs in the room. And she said, what is happening there? And I said, you're actually channeling the music of the angels.
Wow.
So
That's
we did a
amazing.
collaboration where we speaks and the music of the angels plays through. And that's what that album is. And like I said, I will fix it so that you can get access to it. I have no idea where it went because it was there the other day.
Oh.
So
That's a beautiful work, and thank you. I'm very grateful that you decided to step out of the shadows. I'm not sure it's the right way to say, and allow your God's light to shine through you, or your light to shine. Not sure exactly what comes first.
well, we are one,
Everything at
so
once.
it's the
Yes.
same. That's what we all need to remember. We are one. So the
Yeah.
light of God is the light of me, and we get to choose how we shine it. Most of my life, I tried to keep it small so people wouldn't notice me. I became proficient at disappearing in a room. So much so that I'd meet somebody and I'd meet them like a month later and I'd say, oh, nice to see you again. And they'd go, I never met you before. And I'm sorry, I'm not that forgettable, but I learned how to hide my energy. And a funny story, when my gifts started expanding, my daughter came to visit me and we were walking through the Burbank Mall to go to a movie. And all the energy of the people was coming at me and it was overwhelming. So I literally drew myself in and suddenly people were just walking right into me, like smacking into me. And my daughter's like, all of a sudden I heard her yell at me. And I turned and looked at her. I said, what? She goes, Mom, what are you doing? And I said, I'm not doing anything. She goes, Mom, these people don't see you. You've disappeared. And I went, oh, I went a little too far. She was like, what is happening to you, Mom? But thankfully, not everybody in our lives believe what we can do. I've lost most of my family over this gift, but my daughter knows my truth. And she says it all the time. I know this is true, Mom. That's her gift. She knows truth. So that's all it
There
takes is
is.
one person sometimes.
Yes, there is many people in this situation. I hid from my husband for almost 4 years, not because I was a coward, but he really thought that the reason why I don't believe that Jesus died for our sin, I will go to hell and he's not being able to see me when he dies.
Mm-hmm.
he really, really believed that, and I saw he trying hard to save me.
Yeah.
Which was destroying our marriage, so I had to beg him to stop saving me. I said, I'm really sorry for you because you think that I'm going to hell. But I guarantee you, for me, it's easy because I know I'm not and you are not either.
Right.
So, but trust me, I'll see you in heaven.
Well, one of the things, I have a friend who works with me, and she's very resistant to the idea of God because she grew up hearing religion and God punishes, and God doesn't punish us. God loves us.
No.
God loves us. And Jesus died because humanity killed him. They chose to kill him. But Jesus came to teach us to love and to understand that we are God experiencing, that we are that expression. But the religion has taken it to a level where it's utilized as a control. So there are a lot of people who are fearful that we will go to hell. And I'm always told, so let me guarantee you this, people, there is no hell except here on earth. And it is created by our own fears.
Yes.
So choose not to be in fear, and hell will disappear.
I love that. I'm going to use often. Choose not to fear and hell disappear. That's really true.
Yes.
I'd like to show my website, and all Tuesdays I like to give a gift for people, whoever decided to donate to the show. I will give a coupon code to join my workshop that's happen every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. It will join for free. It costs $55, but if you donate, I'm not looking at how much you're gonna donate. It will be for free for you. And anyone else that would like to join, I have a special coupon code is Starseed 22, and then you're gonna pay only $22. And what happened on these workshops? First, I spent almost 10 minutes, take you to a deep relaxing state. I will cleanse your aura, align your chakras, and to heal your traumas, I will join your higher self, Archangel Michael, Jesus, Saint Germain, and Archangel Samuel. We're gonna work together with your one energy to heal, and I send the energy for 7 days. I designed this program to be for 3 weeks, but actually and next week I'll be on vacation. So tomorrow I'll send the energy for 14 days. If you'd like to take advantage of that, Starseed 22, or just donate to the Awakening Path. The link is in the description, and you're gonna get it for free. So actually, Wajna, she said that she's thinking about create a podcast, but she's not sure about which topic would be the podcast.
Okay, my dear, we're going, and again, we can give you all these answers, but if they don't ring true to you, you will not accept them. So we're going to walk you through a little. So you literally, what we are seeing are 3 or 4 topics that you've been bouncing around in your head. We want you to give us the 3 that resonate the most with you, if you don't mind.
Wajna, if you can type for us, I will let her know which one is. while she type. It has been a pleasure to have you here today.
Well, my dear, I appreciate you more than you know. We enjoy your company and we enjoy your viewers too, and allowing us this time to have the conversation and create the energy that others need. You are a blessing, my dear. You are a blessing.
Thank you.
And what has she typed?
She hasn't typed anything yet. Maybe you can just...
Yeah, I'm going to
it's
tap
okay,
into the energy. What we will say to you, my dear, is whatever you choose, and we want to say this to you because this is important to hear. Whatever you choose, don't worry about what others think. Don't worry about what you believe others would be more drawn to, because you're drawn to something specifically that is where you'll give the most of your, how should we say, your strength and energy, your true bound spiritual connection. You see, there is a space evolving within you that connects to others too. That the word channel is not quite clear here, but there's a as Emmy would say, you possess quite a few of the clairs. So what we're going to say to you, my dear, is bring forth the energy that you're most comfortable with. Yes, my dear, what did she write?
She wrote, she's thinking about interview some of the survivors that she helped. And she said, I'm super grateful for you, Eleonora, and God, the gratitude. Thank you.
So
And
what we want to say to you, so interviewing the survivors, is that something that will benefit them in the interview? If that makes sense to ask it that way. Because if they see the benefit to themselves, then you are helping them. But sometimes, just sometimes, when you create an energy of stepping into that personal experiencing, it can be a triggering, a re-triggering, if that makes sense to say. So what we would instead say, my dear, is create an energy, how should we say, of sharing what you do and inviting others to speak through. So you start your podcast with what you do and how you help others. And you can pick a topic on your weekly interactions and then have others interact through questioning. And through that, you create a space of, how should we say, on-air safety. Because many love what you have done for them, but they are not secure in sharing their stories. But once you create that space of loving energy within the audience, then you can interview the survivors. Does that make sense?
she said yes.
Yeah. Because what you do is prolific in changing the lives of others. But you must create a space that feels safe to open that even further for others to see. Because what happens in your society, especially at this time in history, there are many who come through just to, how should we say, and Emmy calls them trolls. And you don't want to put someone who is a survivor through the judgment without proving they have a safe space to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, she's saying that she's always in the right place, in the right time, meeting the right people, and she is a survivor herself.
Yes.
What I see combine what you just said is some people, they chose to come here to have that experience, and they were able to heal enough to open up and tell their story freely to others.
Mm-hmm.
But some, even though they look completely healed, they are not really fully healed.
Right. They still carry the
So we
scar.
start with your one story. I think that would be
Yeah.
a good way to start.
Me personally, MaryElizabeth, I had, oh, okay.
We are still in YouTube.
Okay. I have a history of sexual abuse from a very young age, and it continued throughout my lifetime. And that is my survivor story. And to be honest with you, I'm finally at a space at 65 years of age where I can feel safe for the first time in my life. And I can talk about what I've been through, and I can share it with ease, and I'm not triggered. But I'm fully aware of when that energy that I encountered starting at the age of 4 is in the room. It's still part of who I am. It's still a warning signal that my body is attuned to. So that can happen on a podcast too, if someone in the audience brings that energy through, which is why we says you have to be cognizantly aware of that space. And my dear, can we just say it to you? Let us say this loud and clear. We are here, and we are very proud that you have allowed yourself this energy of healing. But more importantly, part of why you heal is because you help others. And every moment you do, you drop a little bit more of that resistance within you. You drop a little bit more of the residue your trauma has left behind. So sharing as you do is a tremendous blessing, and giving of your story for others to hear will touch the hearts of so many that you will never know, but you will help them let go. So we thank you and we honor you. And we know that you are here for this purpose, to uplift others. And here's the amazing thing. Currently, you are helping those survivors. But eventually, you will all be called thrivers, because you will come together and uplift in the power of who you are, not in the trauma of what has been. So we thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Ashna. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for share of yourself. I really appreciate. Thank you, Joe, also for the interaction. And we already passed 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Or
Yes, we are here as long as you need.
okay, people are still very afraid of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why many are afraid of God is because they don't know God.
Mm-hmm.
There was a figure of God that was presented to them, especially on the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
That's a God that not even the worst father
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that that God has done. I know that was not the story of God.
No, it's the story of man.
I know, not only man, some it is too. And I had a dream that I was in my higher self. I was only consciousness over the Mount Sinai, and there was Moses talking to the burning bush.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see the ETs behind on that spaceship, and I could see everything. And then my higher self was telling me, you are one of the people that will help dismantle that.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my goodness, are you sure that you're gonna give that to me too? My husband not gonna love me after that. But that's not exactly the question. The question is, there are so many people immersed in relation,
Mm-hmm.
that relation that make them so blind and dependent to believe to their own survival, and that will be dismantled because the truth needs to come out and will come out, and it won't take long. What a God has to tell to those people when they find out that the God of the Old Testament wasn't really God. God never killed the 73,000 soldiers of David. God didn't do that.
Well,
God also didn't.
we did not mean to interrupt. Our
Yeah,
apologies, my dear.
that's
Well,
okay.
here's what we will say. The Old Testament, the Bible, all of the religious texts come not as originally written. Do you understand that? Not as originally written. They are a translation of man, not in the language they were written, just in an understanding. And here's the thing about religions. Religions came about as a tool to control the masses. Not to say all religion is bad. That is not what we're saying. As long as you have a knowing of God, that is a good thing. As long as you have a knowing of God in the way you know God to be, that is a good thing. But here's what we caution people of. If your religion teaches you to see others as less than, or to see others as an enemy, that is not the teaching of God. God is love. God is love. God is love. God is peace. And here's the thing, for those who are afraid, many, many, many will say, well, I believe in God. And we are very grateful that you believe in God, because any knowing of God plants a seed, however you know God. But again, if you are being taught your knowing of God makes you better than another, that is man coming through, not God. So what is going to happen? There will be a shifting in the energy. There will be a shifting in society. But most importantly for you is one of the things you said, people are afraid. Fear is running rampant in your world right now. And fear is the tool that is utilized to control the masses. And here's the thing about fear. FEAR. Think of it as an acronym. False evidence appearing real. But we want you to remember one thing. When you feel fear in your body, how does it feel? Do you feel relaxed or do you feel tense?
Tense.
Do you feel happy or do you feel worried?
Worried.
Do you know it's going to be okay, or are you worried that it's not going to work out?
Worried.
Right? So those energies are fear energies. Not the ones we first put forth, but the second that you answered, my dear. Those are all fear energy. But here's the amazing thing. How many people ever experience anxiety? Emmy's raising her hand too. Well, guess what happens when you're anxious? Your body tightens, your stomach starts gurgling, your thoughts go crazy. Well, if you stop when in those moments and fear starts coming through, if you're in awareness, as soon as you say, but what if it doesn't work out? That's fear. If you're paying attention, you go, wait a minute, that's fear. False evidence appearing real. Your body is showing you you're out of alignment. Remember, faith, fully aligned in true harmony. What is harmony? Peace. Do you see? So if you feel peaceful, you are not in fear. You're believing the truth. If you feel stressed, if you feel anxious, if you feel worried, if you feel angry, your body does not feel peaceful. You're not in faith, you are in fear. You're believing the lie. And that is how ME changed her trajectory. She literally started paying attention to her physicality. If I'm tense, I'm believing a lie somewhere, and that's not true. She calls that little voice in her head Fred. That voice in her head, Fred. Who's Fred? When she was in her 20s, it was a guy who was never nice to her. But here's who Fred is now. Fear reaction, energy detected. So when she hears that voice, she'll say, shut up, Fred. That's not true. I'm believing a lie. Because Fred is showing you where you're out of alignment. When you hear that voice that says, well, what makes you think anybody's going to listen to you? What makes you think you can channel? What makes you think anybody's going to believe you? Shut up, Fred. We always do this, so we don't hurt her, promise you. But in that moment, that we literally do say, and excuse the expression, shut the F up, Fred, because that F word triggers a reaction in the brain that automatically makes you pause. And in that pause, you can say, okay, I'm not believing the truth. Because the truth of God is love. The truth of God is peace. The truth of God is harmony. The truth of God is alignment. You all say, just let go and step into flow. What is flow? Ease. Not to say it's easy, but when you understand that God is with you in each and every moment of time, doesn't matter if this moment isn't ideal for you. It'll change in the next. Do you understand? And the more you can allow that alignment to be, the more readily you're going to see the things you want to come to be. And that is what we say to those who are in fear. Fear is the lie. Do not believe it. Thank you.
Beautifully said. I read a whole book that talk all about that. A Course in Miracles.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know this book?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I kind of recommend that book for all my clients.
Yes. It's a very, interestingly enough, I had a friend who was reading it and they were like, oh, you have to read it. You have to read it. So I started reading it and I went, okay, I already know this.
Exactly. You already know.
Right? I don't have to read anymore. But it is Jesus's teachings. So it's an amazing book for those who want to dive into the true message that Jesus brought instead of the religious interpretation.
And I can say that the first time I heard about oneness was reading that book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And took me through all the phases and It was just dropping one coin after other, and I resonated with everything. It's not like you that I already knew.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I knew, but I didn't know that I knew.
Yeah, that is it, because the fact that it resonated within you as truth, you do. And let us put it to you this way, you all come into this world knowing everything. All the knowledge of the universe is within you because you are God. All the knowledge of the universe is within you. Society does their darndest. Emmy always says, our parents do our darndest to beat it out of us, not really literally, but to make us be and conform and fit. And this is what we'll say here. You were all born to be extraordinary. So why are you trying to fit in? You were born to stand out. God doesn't do ordinary. God only does extraordinary.
I agree. Thank you so much. It has been a blessing.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone that is watching. And if you learned something today, share, subscribe, follow Amy. She's very present in her Facebook. If you decided to join some of her groups, I guarantee you that it will be very enlightening, and you're gonna learn so much, and you're gonna move to the next level in your evolution, in your finding your purpose. And much gratitude for you. Next week I want to be here, but I left a gift for you, and I will be back in 2 weeks. Love and light to you, and thank you for being here.
We thank you.
So I just disconnected from YouTube.